so many questions.
Yeah, now it's
So
going to
little
be
time.
more. Yeah. Well, we got nothing but time.
Well, let's see. Would like to know, might as well just jump right on in here. Someone
Yeah.
wanted to know if Carl used that foam piece on his bass
Yeah, I
all the
remember. I
time,
remember him
or
using a strip of foam back here.
was it all the time or sometimes?
Sometimes.
Recording?
I don't know, but sometimes he would put it back here. Yeah, especially in recording. I remember that in recording. But I think it depended on what bass amp he had.
Uh-huh.
That's just my kind of guess, that because he alternated between the hell was it? It was about that tall. Acoustic. It was an acoustic bass amp. It was really cool. It sounded great live.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really do the job in the studio. And in the studio, he used an Ampeg that had a flip top on it and a big 18-inch speaker. Same thing that Duck Dunn used.
Right.
Yeah.
And Eric's amps during the Layla session. Do you remember those? I mean, the pig nose, obviously.
Well, the Pig Nose wasn't the predominant amp, It was used for effects in the song Layla. It was that Stinging Stratocaster, that was that Pig Nose because it was getting it. And you can identify it, if you know what you're listening for. He did use it on a couple other songs. Keep On Growing, of course. It was the only amp on Keep On Growing. I'm sure some other guys out there saying, no, that couldn't be, blah, blah, blah. I was standing there, I watched it. I watched it and heard it go down,
You were talking once several times, about having to be quiet during those sessions, especially with the pig nose.
Because we played at such a low volume. And then anyway, we were playing at a low volume in the studio. But the Pig Nose, if you talked anywhere in the room at all, it would pick up because the Pig Nose was a real quiet amp, especially the original one because it was nothing but batteries.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tom Dowd apparently said that he was surprised. Somebody mentioned this; it wouldn't surprise me that he was surprised when you showed up with small gear. Can you explain the small gear?
Yeah, well, it was like deluxe amps or, Fender Tweeds, But we had the Fender Tweeds because we could play them in the hotel room, just flip them down on the bed, crank them up, And so that's what we did.
Well, you mentioned that you were going small deliberately.
Yeah, it was well, when we went on the road, it was only us and Bruce McCaskill. So, we carried our own guitars and suitcases and stuff. So the whole thing was completely opposite of what Eric had been used to with Cream and with Blind Faith and everything.
You wanted to be able to carry your own gear.
Yeah. It was like getting down to the essence of it,
Right.
And I don't think he had ever done that since the beginning of his career.
Right. Someone had also mentioned the presence of the Lord. They thought that this was a spiritual song. Can you?
It's about his house, Hurtwood Edge. He'd finally found a place to live, just like he'd never had before, in the presence of the Lord.
Now, how did you know that this was about his house?
He told me.
Seriously.
Simple. Yeah, it's about when he found Hurtwood Edge. He'd been looking for different houses, and it just hit him,
But it's such a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house.
Well, I'm sure he was very happy to have it.
Yeah, it was a shell when he got there. Beautiful, but it hadn't been lived in years and years. I think there was a couple of winos living in it. And I don't know what it is about winos and abandoned mansions,
Closest they can get to it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, anything else you want to talk about?
Well, no, not really. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I'm glad this thing that Coco and I are doing finally is like, it just happened, we put it up something to clarify some things a long time ago. I don't forget how long was it, 9 months ago or something?
Apparently, it's been 7 months. It seems like
7
only
months.
weeks.
Yeah, it goes by very quick. Yeah, you can look at it and watch my hair grow, I guess. I haven't
hair
cut
grow.
since we started, But yeah, this is a good thing. I'm glad that we have this channel that we can, reach out to people and answer some questions and, just kind of let you come into our home for a little while, share.
And we actually do talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah, we do, because it comes to us, and you can't just ignore all of this. It's just kind of like a tsunami, coming. And if it were the roles reversed, I'd want to know myself,
Right.
And I'm glad that we can, and there's no other motive in all except to communicate and to be able to share. It's what it is, welcome to our home. We've got our dogs and our cats. And now we've got a new stereo.
We actually, I got the
a
speakers
turntable
today.
and everything from, we haven't ever had one of those. I had all that in my studio in Mississippi.
This is the one I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was my dad.
Well, we got some new speakers though.
Yes.
And we listened to part of the All Things Must Pass record.
I did want to ask you one other thing. This I thought this was interesting because you mentioned it. The solo on "Sunshine for Your Love."
Yeah.
Can you tell me about
That's
that?
Blue Moon.
No.
Yeah. Sunshine all down.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, that's Blue Moon. Eric told me it was.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it just happened. He said it just happened. He wasn't trying to figure anything out. And they didn't know what else to play, so he played Blue Moon. So you think about it now when you listen to Sunshine of Your Love, that solo is Blue Moon. Claptonized, but...
We're going to have to break it out.
Yeah.
Buy the record.
Yeah.
Now we can buy records.
Yeah, now we can buy records, huh? And listen to these that I did
So
a long
exciting,
time ago.
huh? We bought a console and everything.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Beautiful.
It's great. No, we've always we haven't listened to a lot of stuff because we're always playing and writing and things are changing and evolving, and I guess now it's time to take a glimpse into the past. I've never listened to these records, All Things Must Pass and Layla and all of that. I've never really sat down and listened to them. When I did, I didn't hear them. I couldn't listen correctly.
I got to say, analog is so exciting. It just brought me back to
yeah.
a place that you just, oh my God. It's so beautiful to hear it. The crackling on the records.
Yeah. Sounds real. You can see that you can hear it and see the thing at the same time. It reminds me of it's a certain era. In music you can hear it like, I take time today, you are driving me. All of that was in the 20s.
Right.
And how it sounded then. Like it's coming out of that one phone, speaker, and.
It's moved so quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's changed and now it flipped over and it went to like all this digital stuff and it lost its guts. I remember when all that Judy Collins, whatever they had that put on. I think she was the first person to have all that done to her record.
Digital,
yeah. And it just took the life right out of it. Here we're playing this great rock and roll and give it to the companies to press up and they suck it all out, on top of everything else, sucking all your money.
Well, thank
suck
goodness.
all your music.
Thank goodness vinyl has come back.
Yeah.
People
And
really
technology has evolved considerable since those days. So I would imagine we hear the very best of the old records. Hear them better than we could hear them back then.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, we'll talk to y'all later.
Ciao, ciao.
All right. Bye bye.